First question is for you, Chief Darren Shearbaum, regarding international crowds and interpreters. Chief, with the World Cup bringing large international crowds to Atlanta, what role, if any, will APD play in immigration enforcement alongside federal agencies? And what assurances can you provide to Hispanic community members that they can safely report crimes or seek help without fear?
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you being here. The Atlanta Police Department's charge is to enforce state law, city ordinances, uphold the Constitution, and keep the peace in Atlanta, Georgia. We do not have any role in immigration enforcement, just like we do not have any role in tax enforcement or EPA. And so our charge will be to make sure we continue to enforce the law in the city, uphold the Constitution. We will do today what we will be doing 20 days from now, which is make sure anyone who is a resident of the city inside the city limits can access their police department by calling 911, going to a police precinct, or flagging down one of our police officers. Starting June 1st, and Investigator Miranda has our departmental uniform on that we'll be using starting June 1st. We did this in consultation with our State Department friends to say how can we be readily recognizable as a police officer while we welcome the world here. And so you will see starting June 1st, we'll be wearing a uniform that's more recognizable around the globe as being a police officer. So whoever you are in our city, if you're here enjoying our city, if you're here carrying out your normal business or enjoying a game, flag down a police officer, call 911. We're going to ensure you have the protection of the law and the dignity of the Constitution while you're here.
Our next question is for Chief Shearbaum and Deputy Chief Charles Hampton Jr. What is APD Emergency Management's plan to support Spanish-only World Cup visitors, including number and deployment of locations of bilingual officers and interpreters at venues such as MARTA hubs and fan zones?
Good afternoon. The Atlanta Police Department employs a number of officers who are bilingual. And right now we represent probably 25 different languages that our officers speak. So not only Spanish, French, and some other ones that right now I can't name. So we'll be use those officers in strategic locations throughout our FIFA plan to make sure that not only our residents but our visitors to this great city will be able to communicate with our officers. And as well, the Mayor's Office of International Immigrant Affairs also has iSpeak. You'll keep hearing references to iSpeak, but iSpeak is something that's issued throughout the city, not just for police officers, but all City of Atlanta employees are familiar with iSpeak, and then they can reference this hotline to get an interpreter anytime, 24 hours a day, to be able to assist anyone that has any encounter with not only the police, fire, public works, a watershed, but this is an opportunity where no individual inside the city of Atlanta will have any problems communicating with their city of Atlanta.
SPO Miguel Lugo, City of Atlanta Police Hispanic Liaison. The city has 68 officers certified Spanish translators. We also have the language line, 311, and we work hand in hand with the Office of Immigrant Affairs to assist our Hispanic community. Language should not be a deterrent for people to report crime. If you're a victim of a crime, you got rights. We don't care about your immigration status either. So if you reach out to one of our officers, the office doesn't speak Spanish, our chain of command through our process will locate officers that are certified translators and move those officers to those locations where they are needed to assist our citizens and visitors. El Departamento de la Policía de Atlanta tiene 68 oficiales certificados como traductores en español. Nosotros trabajamos en conjunto con la Agencia de Asuntos Migratorios y el servicio del 311 de la ciudad de Atlanta. Si usted es víctima de algún delito y su lenguaje es español, no permita que eso lo prive a usted para no hacer un reporte de la policía. Si usted necesita reporte de la policía, el oficial que se presenta a ayudarle a usted no habla español, ese oficial se comunicará por medio de nuestros oficiales a un oficial que sí habla español. Ese oficial va a ser dirigido a donde está usted y a servirle toda la ayuda necesaria.
The next question again regarding language. What Spanish language services are available through 911 non-emergency lines and emergency public information channels? And how can fans access these services on event days?
The City of Atlanta on a regular basis does have a language access plan, which Deputy Chief Hampton already mentioned, I speak. So for anything non-emergency, that's available to all people within the city limits of Atlanta for all types of services, including non-emergency police response. A little closer. In addition to that, from a 911 perspective, as soon as you call the 911 center, we have systems running in the background that will automatically recognize if you're speaking a language other than English. It can recognize and translate several hundred types of languages, and so it will automatically do that, and we'll be able to identify that you do need language access, and we'll connect you with an interpreter. We can do this both on a voice call and a text call. And in terms of accessing these services, you access them the same way any citizen would. You dial 911 to reach us.
Thank you. This next question is for Chief Shearbaum and Deputy Chief Hampton, as well as Major Kristen Knight. With Atlanta preparing to host massive international crowds during the FIFA World Cup, how is the Atlanta Police Department coordinating with federal, regional, and transit partners to address potential security threats while balancing enhanced safety measures with protecting civil liberties and maintaining community trust?
Each year, the Atlanta Police Department, along with our partners, federal, state, regional, we host the world's largest 10K. We've already hosted Club Cup games. We have hosted college football championship games and playoffs. So we have a long-standing tradition of the public safety community communicating with our state partners, our federal, our regional partners. And so that relationship will continue and has continued for the last 2 years as we prepared for those games. As you know, the Joint Operations Center will be activated during the games, making sure we have instantaneous exchange of information that's occurring across all the disciplines, and we have the ability to deploy resources as are needed throughout the city for the event. We have ongoing meetings where we're exchanging information, making sure that everyone understands their role and their plans during this time. We also protect many different protests. We've protected a number of First Amendment actions around the state capitol and our city streets. The First Amendment is active and alive today, and it will be during all 6 weeks that we have the games. And so we have a strong partnership across the geographical boundary that respects the First Amendment that will be in place those 6 weeks.
Yeah, the picture above me, we've also seen us participate in functional exercise with our partners. We do tabletop exercise. So as Chief alluded to, this is not our first time. It's first time in a long time with the global international eyes will be on the city of Atlanta. But again, we are welcoming it. We've been working on this for a couple of years now. And then we're also sending representatives to D.C. to be part of FIFA's International Police Cooperation Center. So they will also provide overall situational awareness for the 3 host countries. So we'll get real-time information on anything that's happening down in Mexico, all the way to the West Coast and north of us into Canada.
Our next section, I'm sorry, Major, I'm sorry. I see you down there.
As Chief Shearbaum and Deputy Chief Hampton mentioned, the City of Atlanta is no stranger to hosting large-scale events. We're doing it for as far as anyone, I'm sure, can remember. That being said, this is what we train for. We train for this every day. We're prepared to deal with events. We handle simultaneous events on every weekend, pretty much. That being said, the primary indicators of a problem usually start with a citizen seeing something and then saying something, notifying us, letting us know they've seen something. And so I encourage everyone to take that message, those that are visiting our city and those that live in our city, to continue with that posture. If you see something going on, you let us know and then give us our opportunity to go handle those issues.
Thank you, Major. Our next section has to do with monetary restraints regarding FIFA World Cup, budget, mutual aid. This question is for Chief Shearbaum and Chief AFRD Chief Rod Smith. What is the budget for APD and AFRD overtime? What shifts will officers be working?
So right now, the department will be fully mobilized for a 6-week period. Officers and our civilian support staff, our civilian professionals, will be assigned either to the FIFA detail or to a duty related to providing safety within the city to our other 244 neighborhoods, or on a specialized team. Right now, our projected overtime during that 6-week period is approximately $24 million. dollars for the extra deployment that will be necessary, and that will be reimbursed through the federal government back to local jurisdictions for their expenses that they incur. The hours worked will be dependent on the mission for the day. You'll have a number of our officers that will be working 12-hour shifts during the course of the 6 weeks, some that will be working 10, and others that will be working 8-hour shifts. Our plan is flexible, being able to shift resources throughout the city as needed, be it to the FIFA detail or elsewhere in Atlanta, Georgia. It's certainly going to be all hands on deck for the Atlanta Police Department, and I want to extend my appreciation now for all the work that's going to be put in for 6 weeks, making sure we continue to deliver police services and make sure that the FIFA games are safe. And Chief Smith, I'll turn it over to you for the fire department.
Thank you. For Atlanta Fire Rescue, our shifts will be the conventional 24-hour shifts with specialized shifts for game day and authorized activities inside of the city. What's unique about fire and the services that we provide is that we have existing automatic aid agreements with the jurisdictions that are contiguous to the city of Atlanta, as well as a standing state mutual aid agreement that will allow additional resources to be brought into the city if necessary. And our budget, as I said, is roughly $18 million, and it is reimbursable.
Our next question is for Deputy Chief Hampton. How many additional officers is APD getting from other agencies?
So right now that number stands up to about 250 additional officers. As Chief alluded to before, we can't do this alone. So our partnership with our state, local, and federal agencies continue to assist us to make sure that we are able to successfully make sure that FIFA and the citizens and guests that come to participate in FIFA are safe, but also our neighborhoods that we provide police services to. So up to 250 additional officers will assist us.
This next section has to do with protecting all of Atlanta's 245 neighborhoods while FIFA is ongoing. The question is for Chief Shearbaum. Chief, APD has said more than 700 officers will be deployed for World Cup coverage. Is that number per game or for the entire tournament? And how will the department increase staffing while ensuring other Atlanta neighborhoods are not left understaffed?
So our peak numbers will be on game day, obviously. When we have the fan marches occurring, all of the intensity for winning teams and potentially losing teams as well happening in the downtown space. So obviously game days are peak. We have elevated resources that are deployed all throughout the Fan Fest that are occurring. And don't forget, we will be hosting the world's largest 10K on July the 4th. And so your department will be optimally and it's a maximum mobilization that day as well. Now, 750 on peak will be deployed to the game detail. 250 of those are from other agencies. I appreciate all the chiefs and the sheriffs that are provided. But keep in mind, we have 1,840 members on the sworn side of our department. So 1,840, you can, doing the math, the majority of our officers will still be in the neighborhoods. And the majority of the officers will still be investigating crimes, and the majority of the officers will still be assigned in a manner to make sure we address any public safety issues that arrive. We are appreciative of everyone that is going to be assisting us, but your department will be fully mobilized. Certain functions will be paused during those 6 weeks so we can deploy extra officers to the field. And as I stated earlier, a number of shifts will be moving to 12-hour shifts to make sure that we have the coverage that we need during those 6 weeks.
We also want Chief Smith to also talk about how AFRD will still be operational.
Okay. So this is not new for us, especially in the city of Atlanta. And so operating on the premise of our 24-hour shift, you will see us fully staffed on a day-to-day basis for 24 hours. You will see anywhere from 250 to 300 firefighters that will be prepared to respond up to the paramedic level, assisting wherever is needed across the city. Especially making sure that we cover the needs of the city. Just because we have a special event, we don't discount the fact that our citizens still expect us to respond to the emergencies that are happening day to day. And so if they call, we're still coming. But we want you to know that we have specialized operations that we will be planning and we will be staffing appropriately for the events that have been sanctioned.
So this next question is related to the 4th of July, and the responders will be Chief Smith, Chief Shearbaum, as well as Deputy Chief Hampton. There are games July 1 and July 7, and in between is the 4th of July holiday, the semi-quincentennial. How are you planning around that big week?
So that week for us is going to be very active for AFRD in relation to providing that medical or that EMS support for dedicated events. The 4th of July parade is not new, as I said, to us. We will have a dedicated team of EMTs responding on foot, on bicycles, emergency vehicles, electric vehicles, you name it. We will be present. And this is in addition to the resources that we will have available for day-to-day operations as well as FIFA activities.
Same thing with the Atlanta Police Department. We're going to use our size, expertise, and partnerships to make sure that we continue to protect the game. I look forward to seeing a number of you out there on that day, some of you running and covering the games. What you will see differently on July 4th, in addition to the fully mobilized police department, is our retired reserve component is activated. A couple hundred individuals that continue to serve in the police department in a reserve status, and they are deployed on that day, and they will be out as well. We also have the Georgia State Patrol, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, and many other agencies that will be with us on July 4th as we celebrate our nation's independence, and we also have a fun time as Atlantans.
Nothing really to add on that. Again, we still will be active in our FIFA operational plan. We will be ensuring that one of the teams who lost and their fan base will leave, and then welcoming a new team that will be ready for the July 7th match. So there's potential that we'll have 2 teams in market going in and out. So our plan will still be around the hotel, still around the downtown tourist triangle area, just to, again, welcome the many guests that will be coming into Atlanta for the July 4th holiday.
Thanks, Chiefs. Next question has to do with street closures. A question coming to you all from street closures. What traffic and street closure plans will be in place around Mercedes-Benz Stadium and other World Cup venues, including pedestrian-only areas, road closures, and any impacts to regular city services? Chief Hampton?
Yeah, I'm sure that's the number one question everyone wants to know. So currently, there are no plans to close any roads around Mercedes-Benz Stadium or Centennial Olympic Park where FIFA Fan Fest will be activated. However, if there is a safety issue, if there is an influx of pedestrians that overflow from the park into the streets, we do have a plan in place to temporarily shut down the streets around that area to make sure that we maintain safety so we don't have a pedestrian and vehicular intersection. Once we are able to safely resolve that, streets will open and flow freely. We will also have pedestrian corridors along Centennial Olympic Park as well as Marietta. We know that Fan Fest will have a capacity of over 15,000 people, and tickets have been exceeded, obviously, over that number. So we tested that plan on March 28th. There was a citywide mobility plan where we tested that, and right now the feedback for that it went well, and so we plan on implementing that as well. We have 8 days to make modification. Chief alluded to it earlier. Our plan is very flexible. So as we hear things that come up, as we observe things, because we will have boots on the ground, we will have people at different operational centers. We'll have someone at the Georgia Department of Transportation Operations Center. We will have someone located inside the Congress Center Operational Center. We will also rely on Atlanta DOT, their new integrated command center, to also give us real-time information visually from the cameras around to make sure that we can make real-time decisions in a timely manner to best move traffic in and around the city of Atlanta during this time.
I want to make note that we did receive a few other questions regarding traffic, but those were more appropriate for the Atlanta DOT and or the Georgia Department of Transportation, hence why those questions are not being asked today, but we did inform those reporters that those questions were not appropriate for APD. This next set of questions is about technology and drones. This first question is for Chief Shearbaum. Are you adding any additional security cameras and how many?
So each year, additional cameras are added to the city's infrastructure. They'll be occurring this year on a regular cadence. We're also very fortunate we have a robust Connect Atlanta infrastructure where private citizens and private businesses have integrated and registered those cameras. So all cameras will be used to make sure that we're monitoring the downtown space, responding to calls of service. But I want to emphasize something that Major Knight and others have said earlier. This is really going to be dependent on Atlanta executing a safe FIFA game, is that if you see something, say something, and then send us something. And so the ability of the 911 center to receive text messages and photographs should be known by all of your viewers and your readers, making sure that if they see something that is out of place, that they know is not right, that they send that right away to the 911 center so we can investigate it. But continue to register and integrate your cameras. That's what we also ask of your viewers. That will help us have a robust camera infrastructure in place that wherever citizens are enjoying themselves, if we do get a call of suspicious activity that could be indicative of a terror attack, that we will have what we need to be able to quickly mitigate that.
And speaking of E911, what new technology will APD use during the World Cup to protect and respond? Deputy Director Solis?
We have acquired a new software called Rapid SOS Unite. It has multiple features and multiple use cases for World Cup operations. One of the major things that it's known for is that it will drop a pin on the map for every single inbound 911 call that we receive. That's useful for location accuracy, so we anticipate a lot of visitors into the city that may not necessarily know where they are, and so we will be able to know where they are if they do not. Part of our translation services that we've ramped up and we mentioned earlier will be available via this platform. This platform is what gives us access to several hundred languages that runs in the background. It also provides transcription services so that the executive command staff, other staff out in the field can tap into live audio and listen to what a citizen is reporting if something critical is occurring. It also transcribes so they can go back and quickly have investigators review audio and see what was said, what was stated, if there was anything missed, so that we can thoroughly respond to and investigate any kind of calls for service. In addition to that, it will allow us, I'm sorry, it just does so much cool stuff. It allows us to put a footprint of Mercedes-Benz Stadium onto a map. If there happen to be road closures, we'd be able to identify those road closures, security points, things like that for our operations center that will be running during the event.
All right, thank you. The next two questions are for Deputy Chief Hampton. What is the Atlanta Police Department's plan for World Cup security drone operations? Specifically, how many drones will be deployed? How many certified operators, pilots will staff them? And what restrictions, enforcement will be in place regarding fans flying personal drones? That's that first question, and please be mindful, Chief Hampton, your members of the drone unit are in the back in case you need them to answer as well.
I think they trust me, but they will speak up. You have Sergeant Cunningham and Sergeant Franklin who supervise our drone unit. So we will have many drones by pilot and manned by several operators. But we can't do it alone, as we've talked about this before. So we'll have partner agencies from Brookhaven PD, Clayton County PD, Richmond County Sheriff's Department, GBI, and Fulton County Sheriffs. But you need to know before you go. There will be a temporary flight restriction that will be implemented not only match days, but also through the entire FIFA operational period. What does that mean? No drones within a 3 nautical mile radius and no higher than a 3,000 foot ceiling. So during this time, again, do not bring your drones to that area. Do not fly. Or you could face a civil penalty up to $100,000, confiscating of your drone and or criminal prosecution. So again, we're taking this very serious here in Atlanta. And so again, it's important that you take a picture of the QR code behind me. It explains what you can and can't do and the penalties that will be attached to it if you do violate that. We want people to have a good time, but we do not need extra drones in the sky during this period. So we just ask that you adhere to the flight restriction that will be in place.
And you may be able to see on the bottom of the QR code, it says FAA.gov/FIFA World Cup 2026, if you're looking for an email address or website as well. Next question for you again, Chief Hampton. Are there efforts to boost or change cell phone or radio reception?
Yes, so many of our telecommunications providers have not only been in the Atlanta area to test their current equipment, but they also have upgraded some of their towers. But they also are prepared to bring additional equipment inside the city if needed to make sure that their customers are not impacted by the amount of participants that be in the space. So they've been here, they've been running many tests. So we know we have their commitment to make sure that their customers will not be impacted.
Thank you. The next section that we will discuss is training. And this question is for Major Mitchell. What specialized training have officers completed ahead of the World Cup, including crowd control, counterterrorism, rapid response, and preparing to interact with large international crowds that may have different expectations of policing?
As it relates to expectations of policing, I think that, you know, all citizens, all guests, they expect their police department to treat them with dignity and respect. One of the things that we do with all of our recruits and officers, we teach them ethics and professionalism, cultural diversity, effective communication, as well as de-escalation. So those are some of the classes that we teach all of our staff. As it relates to FIFA, we've done a lot of training with our partners at the new Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, civil disturbance training to prepare for any protests or riots if they should occur, bicycle response training. So you'll see a lot of officers on bikes during FIFA. Also, you'll see officers on utility vehicles. So we've conducted a lot of training as it relates to that, as well as counterterrorism training. We've had bomb training and several other hosts of classes that we've had at the Academy with our federal, our local, and regional partners.
Thank you. Some of you may have actually been present behind them. You saw the video from our training out at Centennial Olympic Park, which was in partnership with AFRD. And please be mindful, training is an everyday thing for the Atlanta Police Department and the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department. This next set of questions are regarding gatherings, bar hours. This first question regarding this topic is going to be for Deputy Chief Hampton and Major Knight. How will you handle spontaneous gatherings or celebrations that form outside designated areas?
We will handle those types of events in the same ways that we typically do on weekends when we have those. Much of our success in the past in terms of handling those events has largely to do with our zone commanders and the fact that they're very familiar with the neighborhoods within their respective areas of responsibility. Not only that, we have coordinated responses, coordinated communication, and our strategies are heavily dependent on intelligence. What I mean by that is when an event is in any way advertised, we're aware of it, we pivot quickly, and adjust plans that we already have in place and that we maintain on a regular basis to handle spontaneous events.
But again, this is not only the responsibility of the Atlanta Police Department. We're asking every citizen, if you see something, that you have to say something. So we're asking neighbors, homeowners, residents to, if you see large gatherings, it looks like it's getting too passionate, again, please call 911, text 911. And let us come out to then investigate it. But this is going to be not only all hands on deck within the police department, but we need all hands on deck from our citizens to be our eyes and ears for these gatherings. But as Major Knight said, a lot of it will be extremely focused on our intelligence and making sure that we're in those spaces ahead of time so people can enjoy this great event that is coming in 20-some days.
We also want to ask that you please help us by pushing the message about celebratory gunfire as well as fireworks safety. And this is where I will toss it to Chief Smith to emphasize fireworks safety.
So when we talk about fireworks inside the city of Atlanta, just being very candid, they are illegal. However, we do know that certain cultures in this sport of an event, they like to use personal pyrotechnics. And so we will be working very closely with them to try to make sure that it is done in a very safe and a controlled manner. We will be utilizing our friends with APD to assist us with managing and monitoring those events. However, just want you to reiterate that in the event that they are utilized, make sure that you're on concrete or non-combustible surfaces. Make sure that you're away from buildings and away from flammables. But we encourage you not to do it because it is illegal.
Thank you. This next question is for Deputy Chief Hampton. Will there be extended bar hours, special bar areas on match days?
So the short answer to extended hours is no. But this administration is very keen on what this brings to Atlanta. So legislation has been passed. There will be a temporary open container district where it will be at the north is Ivan Allen, to the west, Northside Drive, to the south, the I-20, and to the east, Peachtree Street. So in this area, individuals the legal age of 21 or over can consume alcoholic beverages and safely walk the streets and enjoy themselves. But once you go outside those boundaries, you can't expect to see a member of your police department just to remind you that you need to take it back across the street or pour it out somewhere, discard it in stations that will be also readily available. So again, we know it will be a good time, but we're asking people to be responsible. Do not drink and drive. Do not scooter and drive. We ask you to take MARTA, call Uber, but you are allowed to only in this area, and it's only for a duration of FIFA. So that information is available. So please take a look at that, familiarize yourself with that, and again, come down and enjoy the games.
Thank you, Chief. This next section of questions has to do with the unhoused population. This question is for Chief Shearbaum and Major Mormon. Housing advocates have raised concerns about how Atlanta's unhoused population will be treated ahead of the World Cup, with some fearing a repeat of the displacement and arrests seen before the 1996 Olympics. What is APD's plan for homeless encampments in the coming weeks, including removals, potential arrests, and how the department is handling individuals who have nowhere else to go or refuse to relocate? Chief Shearbaum?
Yes, sir. For the last 20 years, the Atlanta Police Department has had a special team, the HOPE team, whose focus is connecting individuals to services and to avoid the occasion of arrest, and arrest only if necessary. And that has always been the department's approach. The administration, in its first 4 years, has had a concerted effort to have a holistic approach that unsafe and illegal encampments are closed and cleaned. And that is ongoing. I believe Major Mormon will share the numbers just this year alone of unsafe and illegal encampments that we've been able to make sanitary and to be able to remove that element of danger while connecting individuals to service. When we do have to close an encampment, there's an extended period of time where we engage the occupants and we try to get them to go to services. And there's been a lot of successes around that. And our ability is for days and sometimes weeks, we return to the location, letting them know what day the encampment will be closed and that an arrest could occur after that point, and encourage them to take advantage of the many resources that are being afforded them by the administration. Before an arrest can be made, there has to be probable cause. There has to be a crime occurring. You can't be arrested just for being homeless. And I need your help as journalists to be able to promote that. You can only be arrested if there's a crime occurring and there's probable cause that a crime is occurring. Our objective is connecting individuals to services, to be able to address the issues of substance abuse, of mental health challenges that may be contributing to the homelessness. But Major Mormon, I'll let you give specifics on the efforts of our HOPE team this year to be able to safely and properly connect individuals to services while cleaning up and closing unsafe encampments.
Yes, this year in 2026, we've cleaned 35 encampments. And we've also connected 453 individuals to resources and housing. But I want everyone to also know that we've made 0 arrests during these cleanups. So as we go to these encampments, individuals are given options, they're given support, but they are not arrested.
So our next section that we will cover is related to short-term rentals and illegal vending. Most of these questions will be answered by the folks at the end of the table and then some of the majors on this end. But this first question is for Major Knight and Lieutenant Burrell. A high number of visitors are expected to stay in short-term rentals during the games. What are the safety concerns given this, if any, and how are police preparing for potential neighborhood parties and social events that could be disruptive to residential neighborhoods?
Yes, safety concerns are no different than any other spontaneous event or large-scale party that is disruptive to a neighborhood. Again, back to the see something, say something message, it's really important for neighbors to report when they see people violating the law in terms of parking and noise complaints. Those are all indicative of large parties. So that being said, there's no additional concern or fear. It's very much similar to what we are already dealing with in terms of parties or events that are disruptive, and just making sure that the public is really engaged and reports really quickly when those issues arise so that we don't let them get out of hand any more than they need to.
I think Major Knight, she answered that great. Pretty much stole all the talking points. But if you're planning on having something in your neighborhood, whether a short-term rental, block party, or just a community gathering, we just want to make sure that you have the proper permitting, whether it's through license permits or the Mayor's Office of Special Events. If you have any questions regarding that, just give our office a call and we can really guide you in the right direction. We want people to come to our city, stay in short-term rentals, but we also don't want it to be disruptive to those that live here. So we want people to come and enjoy, but we want it to be done the right way where it's not a disruption to our communities.
Thanks, Lieutenant. This next question is for Director Talley, Majors Baldini and Hunt. How will police ticket or hold property owners accountable for noise and code violations around parties if they happen?
So code enforcement will maintain normal business operations during the World Cup. Our inspections will be conducted within 48 hours after they are filed with our office. We will continue to educate the public on the do's and don'ts of code enforcement and hold those accountable that fail to bring those properties into compliance.
From the field operations standpoint, I would say this falls right in with the answer that Major Knight just gave about the illegal parties and pop-up. This is what we've been doing. I think we talked about this last week. This is what we do, and this is what we've already been doing. This is nothing new. So if there is a noise violation, there is a party, there is parking violations, that's where we're going to go ahead and start enforcement. And that way we can have a baseline for everything. It doesn't matter if it's FIFA related or something else. Anything else?
Hey, so I'm Christian Hunt with Zone 5. We're not going to shut down the celebrations, but what we're going to do is manage the situation on the front end. We're going to meet with the bar owners and the off-duty officers, the coordinators specifically, to make sure they understand our expectations. As Chief stated earlier, there's going to be hundreds of officers from other jurisdictions handling the FIFA detail itself. That's going to allow my officers to respond to your 911 calls for service. And I think I can speak for everyone at the table. We all work long hours, and this is going to be no exception. So with that being said, the captain and I, we're dedicated to having staggered shifts. That way there's always a command presence in Zone 5.
Thank you. These next questions will be for Major Knight and Lieutenant Burrell. During the World Cup, how will APD address unauthorized pop-up parking operations through increased patrols and enforcement? And what should drivers do to avoid scams or respond if they unknowingly park in an illegal lot or have their vehicle towed?
So our zone commanders are intimately familiar with our illegal parking locations, the commonly used ones, as well as our legitimate ones, in addition to knowing who the scammers are versus the legitimate business owners, et cetera. That being said, we proactively, on a weekly basis, throughout the year, have details that proactively look for these individuals to address those issues and cite them accordingly, as well as taking them into custody if that is needed. My recommendation for those that are parking in the downtown space, be very aware of your surroundings. Do not pay anyone that you see in a high visibility vest standing in the roadway, for instance, flagging people down, that is not appropriate. Also, look for signs. If the sign says it's legal to park there, don't pay to do so. If you're parking on the side of the street and it is free to park, then do so. Look for signs in parking lots. Legitimate lots have signage, illegitimate ones don't. Don't park on grass. A lot of times, the illegitimate parking companies will ask someone in the neighborhood if they can park cars on their lawn. To be very clear, in order to do any business in the city, selling any service or item, you have to have a permit. And those individuals that choose to allow people to park on their grass must also have a permit. So there's rules that everyone has to adhere to, but it takes the responsibility of law enforcement, citizens, and those visiting our city to just be very clear about what's going on and look around for signs that it is okay to do so. I strongly encourage people to use our rideshare services as well as our public transportation because that is going to be the easiest way, quite frankly, to maneuver the city, given the number of people we'll have visiting.
And like everyone has said, we've done this before. We've had a lot of large-scale events around Mercedes-Benz Stadium, State Farm. So when it comes to parking, we've partnered with the Atlanta Department of Transportation, who actually issues the temporary use parking lot. So our officers and our commanders, they know what those permits look like. Those who are operating the temporary use parking lot should have that permit. If they're not, they're operating illegally. So the best way, like Major said, to really go around the traffic woes is to, if you come into Midtown or downtown or anywhere in the city to celebrate, is just use public transportation or rideshare.
Lieutenant Burrell and Major Knight, another question for you all. Just 3 questions left. How will APD handle illegal vendors during the FIFA World Cup? And how will officers balance enforcement with maintaining a safe and welcoming environment for visitors and local businesses?
Just as I mentioned before, in order to sell anything or provide a service, you have to have a permit. We will have details during the course of FIFA World Cup that will proactively go out there, identify people operating illegally, cite them, and address those issues to move them out of the space. One of the reasons why we take this so seriously is that it harms our local businesses when we have illegitimate businesses allowed to thrive. And so, in addition to that, some of the businesses that tend to operate illegally are, let's say, food trucks, for instance. It's really important for food trucks or those using propane tanks to be addressed quickly because that in and of itself is a safety concern. Not only is the propane tank a fire hazard, food safety measures and institutions that monitor them aren't able to do so because they're operating outside of the law. So it's very important that if you see these activities that you let us know.
And one thing that we definitely want to stress, sometimes it's a misconception that private vendors are given the opportunity or permission by private property owners to operate on private property. In the city of Atlanta, you need a permit to operate on public and private property to vend. So a permit is needed. And like the Major said, we want to make sure that those are regulated. We don't want anyone getting sick from foodborne illness. And also, it's definitely a safety concern when we have, open flames or a grill or propane tanks. So I just want to stress that part that if you're going to vend or if you would like to vend, again, you can call license and permit so we can make sure that we guide you in the right direction. But we want to do it safely. And like she said, the propane tanks are big, open fire. We want to make sure that our citizens are safe and we don't want to cause any disruption or health concerns or safety concerns due to illegal operators.
All right, so this next section is regarding seeking help. This is for Chief Shearbaum. What assurances can you provide the Hispanic community that they can report crimes or seek help during World Cup events without fear or hesitation? And how are you encouraging that engagement? So that will be you, Chief Shearbaum, as well as Lugo or Miranda will also provide your response in Spanish.
Our reassurance to the Hispanic community is the same to any other community in Atlanta, Georgia. Our job is to enforce the law, uphold the Constitution, and keep the peace in Atlanta, Georgia. And so anyone who find themselves in the city limits can reach out to us through 911, going to a local precinct, flagging down a police officer and telling us what you need and how can we assist you. Who should be apprehensive? People that want to steal cars, break into vehicles, street takeovers, gang members, drug dealers, anyone that's going to use a gun illegally. We're going to still be working. All 6 weeks, we will be enforcing the law. If you intend to commit a crime in Atlanta, Georgia, you're going to meet your police department. If you're a law-abiding individual within the city limits, we're going to protect you. We're going to make sure you have the protection of the Constitution and the dignity of the law. So we look forward to these 6 weeks. And I don't know if you got all of that, SPO Lugo, but if you can make that succinctly, that if you need us, call us. If you're committing a crime by harming anyone in the city limits, you're going to also meet your police department. So here you go.
Para nuestros visitantes que son de comunidades hispanas, no tengan temor en notificar a la policía si son víctimas de algún delito. Nosotros tenemos muchos recursos, tenemos los oficiales, 68 oficiales que están certificados para hablar español, tenemos Language Line, tenemos también I Speak ATL to assist you, para ayudarles. Independientemente de su situación, a nosotros no nos interesa. Si te están visitando para las festividades, estamos aquí para servirles. Notifiquen a un policía más cercano, y ese oficial identificará a un oficial que pueda ayudarles a ustedes. Ahora, si son las personas que vienen para cometer delito, la policía va a estar por esas 6 semanas enforzando todo tipo de delito. Si usted es víctima del delito, estamos aquí para ayudarle y para servirle. Si viene a violar la ley, lamentablemente vamos a enforzar la ley a todo el poder que tenemos.
Thank you, SPO Lugo. Appreciate you. Thank you.
And our final submitted question has to do with media updates and social media. This is for Executive Director Spikes. Will there be daily briefings from APD, either early in the day or at night? What will be the best way to get information from APD during the World Cup, especially in the unfortunate case that there is a security incident?
So our goal is to not have any daily briefings. We want to operate just like we would with any of the major events that we've had. For instance, the college football championship. We want to just operate as business as normal. And what we hope is that nothing does occur. And that's why we, as of now, don't plan any daily briefings. However, if something were to happen, it's still the same parameters that we already have. If there's anything major, you will still get the information from APD. We will be operating a joint information center, and you're in it right now. And I will be that commander for the JIC is what we will call it. And if something does happen, you will get the information on our website and social media, as well as ATL Direct. ATL Direct is a source for news regarding the city of Atlanta. So these are the options you have as it relates to something, if something were to occur. What I will tell you as media, if something does occur, do not, and I will say this in all caps, bold, underline, and circle, do not start calling all of our phones, because you have to remember this is an international event, and that means I will get a phone call from someone in Spain, I will get a phone call from someone in Saudi Arabia, and yes, that has happened before where I've gotten international phone calls. So please, if something happens, sit tight. Know that we know that something is happening, and we're getting the information to you as quickly as possible. But if you can just go to our social media platforms, that's where we will be providing a lot of those updates, as well as the website and ATL Direct. And thank you for following us on social media and our website, which the information is listed there. Thank you for making sure that you are using those to get your news updates and information. That's actually our last question. And so we're going to turn it over to Chief Shearbaum and Chief Smith for closing remarks. And we do have about 5 minutes or so that we can dedicate to some open questions, but we will start with the closing remarks from the chiefs.
Executive Director Spikes, thank you, Dave, and the entire team for putting this event together. We love having conversations with our community, and we couldn't do that without you. Chief Hampton, you've been working very hard for 2 years getting us ready, and I appreciate all that work. And to everyone that's Team APD, thank you for what you do every day, but what you're going to do for the next 6 weeks during this time. I really appreciate you. I know it's going to be a lot of hours. We want to thank all of our partners, both at the fire department and across the region, the state and federal government that's also been working with us. But this is Atlanta. We need everyone's help. It's already been mentioned. I want to emphasize it. See something, say something. Send something in that you need your police department to be aware of. We need everyone's eyes and ears joining us during these weeks. We want to have a fun time, but we want to have a safe time in Atlanta, Georgia when we welcome the world back here. So whatever your team is, celebrate safely. Know that your police department's here for you during the 6th week, and we look forward to having fun with you during this time. Chief Smith.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to be here, spending time with you just before the FIFA event comes, just to reassure you that the men and women of Atlanta Fire Rescue are prepared to respond, and we will be continuing the services that we provide, most importantly to the citizens of Atlanta, and we will be stepping into the spaces where we need to provide those services additionally to the FIFA event. And we are looking forward to this, so thank you for coming out today.
All right, so for open questions, I'm gonna start with the folks in the back, because I really can't see. I see Michael, then we'll go, I see Pink, but I can't really see the face. Then Shotty, then come around, go from Rob, then over here to the Atlanta Voice. So, Michael, you can take it away, and if there are any other reporters that I just can't see in any of the photos, but if you can start us off.
I apologize if you guys already addressed this. As far as wait times go, when someone calls 911, there's going to increase or stay business as usual?
Director Solis. We'll be, yeah, go ahead, Director Solis.
From the 911 perspective, there should not be. We've moved all of our staff to 12-hour shifts to double the manpower on each shift to prepare for any surge there may be from the 911 inbound calls.
All right, next question.
I wanted to clarify the overtime costs. We said $18 million for the fire department and $24 million for the police department?
That's correct.
And the city pays it up front, but gets reimbursed by whom?
The federal government.
Okay, they're paying that comes after the World Cup's over?
It's reimbursable, that's correct.
It is.
Yep. Once the hours are worked, sir. Yes, yep.
As far as patrolling neighborhoods, I know we talked about the regular patrolling that happens on a regular basis with APD, but those neighborhoods like Little Five Points, I know there's going to be watch parties happening in different areas. There's been grants awarded for different communities to have watch parties. How is APD beefing up their presence in the different neighborhoods that are hosting these watch parties outside of the downtown core?
We're going to continue to maintain our presence. We're going to have the patrol element that's in place. We will have REACT teams that are available to be deployed as needed in the areas. We do know some of these events are hiring private security and off-duty officers as well. But we're also going to have resources available for street racing and team takeovers. Those capabilities will be maintained during this time. So as long as they are orderly and peaceful, they probably won't need the intervention of their police department. If something gets out of hand, we'll be there pretty quickly to address. I'm very confident of that.
Chief, anything that you guys have taken from other major police departments that also happen to be host cities, or other cities that have hosted in the past, you guys maybe have reached out to learn what they have done, what's worked, maybe what hasn't worked, and what we can apply here in the city for the World Cup?
Yeah, and Chief Hampton can add to this, but Chief Hampton's team has literally been traveling to other cities that have a little bit different soccer culture than Atlanta United. And handle victories and defeats in a different way. So we've been visiting internationally. We've welcomed those departments here into police headquarters and met with them. We're part of the Major Cities Chiefs organization that has been all major host cities have been sharing information. And it's around how do you control a crowd. It's around what do we look for that we may not have seen in Atlanta, Georgia, so we can respond to that. But I don't know if you want to give any specifics of what you've learned in your preparation. Our mounted patrol, being an important part of keeping the crowd safe and moving is one of the key takeaways that I know of.
Yeah, the mounted patrol is what I'm comfortable in speaking with today. But there will be other elements that we will have. Hopefully, we won't have to break the glass in case of an emergency. But we are prepared. But one of the huge takeaways was definitely the mounted patrol. So in light of that, we will Savannah, PD, Cobb County, even Memphis have all agreed to provide their horses for us. So we will have that presence in the space around FanFest, around the games. We deployed that during Club World Cup last summer. So we've been having the opportunity to put our plan in place and making the necessary adjustments to make sure that we have a safe event for not only the visitors, but also the residents to come enjoy.
And Chief, you mentioned that the department would have no role in immigration enforcement. I'm curious what level of coordination or just communication you've had with ICE or other federal officials in terms of possible operations that could be going on while these games are going on.
No coordination or communication. Our focus with the federal government has been counterterrorism, gangs operating in the space, guns being illegally used, and drugs being dealt in our city. And so that is our charge. Being a municipal police department is enforcing state law, city ordinances. That is where we do have overlap with the federal government, not in any area around immigration, taxes, or EPA, right? That's just not what we do, and it's not in our charge. And we're going to continue to focus on the events that we need to do to keep the event safe, and it's going to be counterterrorism and criminal activity.
Thank you for hosting this. Is there a plan or some sort of regulation surrounding resellers or scalpers that will be that kind of hope to be outside the stadium to resell a Fan Fest ticket or a World Cup ticket?
That is going to be governed by FIFA. Right now, I believe in order to successfully deter that, many of the tickets are electronic. And so those methods to transfer tickets and things like that are going to be whatever the ticket company has in place. But I think that was one of the reasons moving forward towards that electronic ticket.
KJC intern.
Back to immigration. In the case of any pressure from the federal government, how confident can any potential undocumented people be that you guys remain committed to your promise to not have any role in immigration?
We can only legally enforce state law and city ordinances. I'll reemphasize that. We can only enforce state law and city ordinances. If you are a gun user, a drug dealer, if you're a terrorist, if you're someone that's going to cause the city harm through criminal activity, that's when you're going to meet the police department. That's what we have continued to be focused on and will continue to focus on.
Right, Telemundo or AP? AP?
If you were to give a general overview, what are the most important things you have to put in place to prepare for the influx of people coming to the city for the World Cup?
Yeah, uniformed officers in all the right places with a phenomenal civilian support team behind them. And so we looked heavily on what would be asked of us. We have tried to anticipate, and then we have kept resources in place in case we miss something or something develops that we didn't anticipate. So having officers available to be quickly engaged by a visitor to our city, making sure we continue to go to 911 calls, and then for the officers and the team members working the 12-hour days, the long shifts, making sure we feed them, we support them, and they have everything they need to be safe while they keep the city safe during what could be some hot days, right? So that's our focus. Where do we need to be? How many people do we need there? And what is our depth on the bench to pivot? And then do we have the support from our partners that we need for the worst case scenario should it play out right here in our city?
So we're rounding out our hour time frame. Any photogs here have any questions? All right, go for it.
Has APD received or tracked any terroristic threats ahead of FIFA already?
So we are in constant communication with the FBI, and we've not been provided any information by the FBI that would cause us to change our posture. And those communications will continue all the way through the last day, but then they continue the day after the last game because terrorism can happen at any time. And we will continue that dialogue with the FBI, the GBI, to make the adjustments that we need. But please don't leave this out of any story you run between now and the game. If you see something, say something. I just want to stress that. Everyone has a role. We got to remember 30 years ago, Eric Rudolph bombed the Olympics here in Atlanta, Georgia, right? And he did it by placing a bomb in a backpack under a bench. And so everyone be vigilant. You all be vigilant and make sure you engage your police department if you see something. And so with the citizens looking out, with our partnerships, and the phenomenal men and women of the police department and the fire department being out there, do our best to keep the city safe and respond to anything should it happen.
All right, Michael, I see Michael poking his head up.
One last second. I mean this respectfully. I mean, you guys, this is a big week city. We do these events all the time. To me, not law enforcement, it just sounds like business as usual. I'm not downplaying what you guys, all the hours you put in, but you guys are prepared for this. Is that an accurate statement? I mean, you guys handle big events. It's not middle of nowhere.
Well, we've handled big events, and it's been 30 years since the world came back here. And there's a lot of American cities that tried to be a host city, and only 11 were picked. And so we believe being picked was because we've done this before, and we have strong working relationships with our federal, state, and regional partners. But this is going to be a heavy lift. It's going to be a lot of work, right? And it's going to be a lot of work by the men and women of the department, putting in a lot of hours, adjusting their normal assignments, being flexible, and by a leadership team that it's not going to get much sleep for 6 weeks as we execute being present in the neighborhoods and going. So it is a big deal, but I'm very confident in this team to execute on it. I'm very confident in our partnerships to make sure that we can navigate any challenge that may be handed our way. And I have the utmost confidence at this table and everyone that they lead that we're going to be able to navigate this appropriately for 6 weeks.
All right, so that does it. Thank you all. If you have any other questions or updates, just make sure you email us at apd-publicaffairs@atlantagA.gov.
Thank you, Shawna.